All right, hello and welcome everyone. This is lesson 1 of 5 for Introduction to the Incident Command System, or ICS 100. Whether you're an EMT or just getting started or a firefighter trainee, this course lays the groundwork for how emergencies are managed nationwide, big or small. If you need the ICS 100 certificate, watching this lecture unfortunately will not suffice. This lecture was uploaded here to introduce new EMT students to this material and provide a refresher to those that find it helpful. But this course right here on YouTube will not provide a certificate of completion, just letting you know. You'll have to take that through official sources. This is the first ICS course you'll take, and it will help you speak the same language, we'll say, as the rest of the public safety world. It's about coordination, communication, and understanding your place in the bigger response picture. When we all speak the same language, we can really streamline a lot of stuff. Things really work better together. The goal here is simple. You'll learn how ICS works so you can be more effective when responding to emergencies and planned events. These planned events can be very normal things like concerts and sporting events with lots of people. As an EMT, you'll rarely work alone, and so this course will help you understand how to kind of plug that into a larger team picture when chaos hits, if chaos hits, in your units, whether you're on a fire engine or you're, attached to your partner on an ambulance. These resources typically move together, and understanding the big picture can really help. So, overall course objectives. After completion of this course, you should be able to explain the principles and basic structure of the incident command system, describe the NIMS management characteristics that are the foundation of ICS, describe the ICS functional areas and the roles of the incident commander and command staff, describe the general staff roles within ICS, and identify how NIMS management characteristics apply to ICS for a variety of roles and discipline areas. So you should be able to explain how ICS is structured by the end of this course and why it works so well. You'll understand the roles of the incident commander, command staff, general staff, etc. So if you're taking this course in person, let's go around, say your name, your current role, the role that you're going for if you're currently in training, and one thing you hope to learn from this course, or a situation where you were unsure how to plug into a certain scenario or scene. Go ahead and pause the video now if you're taking this in person. If not, let's continue. So first, let's take a minute and write down one thing you hope to take away from this course today. We'll revisit it at the end of the unit to see if we met that goal. That's something that I think is useful here. So go ahead, pause the video if you need it, write something down, and we'll talk about that later. We'll cover 5 units. The course is divided this way. Unit 1, Course Welcome and ICS Overview, which is this. Unit 2, NIMS Management Characteristics. Unit 3, ICS Functional Areas and Command Staff Roles. Unit 4, General Staff Roles. And Unit 5, How ICS Applies to You. Today, this video is all about getting oriented and understanding ICS at a high level, and then we'll get progressively deeper into the material. So if you're taking this class in person, that's basically the course agenda. I hope you had a chance to sign in. That is essential. We will take a break between lectures. They're is a message and telephone location, which is just a designated spot where you can use your phone. That's outside. We'd love you not to use your cell phone policy while we're doing the lectures. And the restrooms are outside, other concerns. If you're taking this at home, well, you should know these things where they are in your own house. So this is how the course will be structured. This one should take about an hour, the next one, 1.5, and so on. Each section builds on the last and will wrap up with a final exam. You'll need at least 75 to pass. And, you know, amongst other courses that you might take, there are a lot that you take just so you can get the certificate. This is one that I really think is helpful to understand first and then understand quite well, you know, from time to time, especially because we don't always have the chance to interact with this stuff. So to get credit, participate, take the exam, fill out the evaluation at the end. Very easy. In this unit, Unit 1, we're focusing on what ICS is, why it matters, and how it benefits you as first responders. The whole community. Every part of society must be involved in preparing for, protecting against, and responding to, and then recovering from, and then mitigating any and all incidents. It really is a group effort. The federal government is the only part of the whole community, but there are a lot of smaller parts that play a role to build this big picture. The whole community approach ensures solutions that serve the entire community are implemented while simultaneously making sure that the resources of the different members of the community bring to the table are used efficiently. These members include those in all levels of government, as well as those in non-governmental and private sector organizations like private ambulances, in fields like transportation, healthcare, schools, public works, communications, agriculture, chem and nuclear, and more. So you're not alone. ICS is about integrating everyone, EMTs, public works, hospitals, schools, so the response is nice and coordinated. This is why this course is a requirement for so many different positions that you might apply for. You know, things like EMTs, it's relatively straightforward, but in other roles like management at a school, you might be required to take this course as well, so you understand how this framework works. So ask yourself, why do you think it's important that EMTs understand what the other players are doing in an incident? Think about that for a second. If you need to pause the video, go ahead and do that, and then we'll continue on. What is the Incident Command System? The Incident Command System is a standardized approach to incident management that is used for all kinds of incidents by all types of organizations and at all levels of government. ICS is applicable to small incidents as well as large and complex ones. It can be used not only for emergencies, but also for planned events. And this is something that can be quite helpful when a large emergency does happen, because if we've gotten into this habit of deploying the ICS system and framework and leadership structure in things like, an accident on the freeway that has like 5 cars involved, or, concerts in the community and stuff like that, we really become well practiced when we need to truly embrace this framework for a large emergency. It enables coordinated response among various jurisdictions and agencies. This mutual aid aspect is probably the biggest value piece of all of us learning ICS. It establishes common processes for incident level planning and resource management, and it allows for the integration of resources such as facilities, equipment, personnel within a common organizational structure. So it's a framework. It gives us roles, structures, and communication. Keeps things from falling apart, you could say. So, let's make it relatable. Imagine pulling up to a crash where PD is already there, a tow truck is coming, dispatch is overloaded, and so you need to understand what resources you need. And if they arrive and when they arrive, you need to understand how to organize that. So ICS will help you understand how to organize that response so we're not stepping on each other's toes, and we're also not repeating things that have already been done when time happens to be very sensitive. When is ICS used? The incident command system can be used to manage any type of incident, like we said, including planned events like the Olympics or inauguration of a governor, state fairs, local parades, etc. The use of ICS is applicable to all types of incidents, regardless of their size. As a system, ICS is extremely useful. Not only does it provide an organizational structure for incident management, but it also guides the process for planning, building, and adapting that structure. And so when there, is a large event, like let's say a concert at a stadium with over 100,000 people, we can actually build this public safety, incident response plan that is built on this framework that really helps us organize our resources, and from there we can have all of these things laid out before the event even starts, and that can be really helpful. Using ICS for every incident or planned event provides a practice that will help maintain and improve these skills needed to effectively coordinate larger or more complex efforts. And again, this is why I said those things. So we can use it for everything. Using ICS during routine calls can help build this muscle memory. So, have you ever worked an event or a marathon or a street fair or even, a smaller private job on the side? How did the coordination work there? Think about that. And think about, in that scenario, whether ICS might have helped. Managing the resources, managing the personnel, and getting everyone on the same page. At a minimum, I can say from personal experience, ICS seems to always help because one of the key pieces is communication. And there's a lot of events that I worked where, yes, there's a lot of people there. There's police and there's fire working standby, and there's EMTs, and there's people checking tickets, and everything is there. The whole chessboard is there. But what we're lacking is an ability to communicate with each other, either because the only people that have radios are a few security officers in a few spots, and they don't have enough radios for everybody, or there was no published plan, or it was just missed entirely. That's something that comes to mind every single time I work an event that could benefit from some communication. Yes, is an ICS full plan probably overkill for that? Maybe, but at minimum, if we went through the ICS plan and just thought about it, communication strategies would have been something that we would have thought about. One of the most powerful things about ICS is that it makes collaboration easier. Can't say that enough. Even between organizations that don't normally work together. And that's probably the most valuable aspect. ICS is a component of the National Incident Management System, NIMS. The National Incident Management System, NIMS, is a systemic, proactive approach to guide all levels of government, non-governmental organizations, also known as NGOs, and the private sector to work together to prevent, protect against, mitigate, to respond to, and to recover from the effects of incidents. NIMS provides a consistent foundation for all incidents, ranging from daily occurrences to incidents that require coordinated federal response. NIMS is organized into three major components: resource management, command and coordination, which includes the incident command system, and communication and information management. It is important to know that the incident command system is just one part of this bigger NIMS picture. So think of NIMS as the policy and ICS as the boots on the ground doing the execution of the goal. So, what are some problems that you've seen at chaotic scenes? Miscommunication, no clear leadership. ICS exists because we've learned from those failures. So think about that, and if you have something meaningful, write it in the comments and let's discuss. There's a lot that can be learned from us telling our stories and sharing our experiences so we can grow from that. So let's do an activity. ICS benefits. The purpose of this activity is to discuss the benefits of ICS. Follow the steps below to conduct this activity. First, we'll divide into groups of 5 or 6. We'll work as a team to review the scenario presented below. We'll identify the top 3 challenges for officials to manage this incident. We'll write the challenges on a piece of paper. We'll discuss how ICS could be used to address these challenges, and then each group will select a spokesperson and we'll go around and share. This should take about 20 minutes. If you're reviewing this material online on your own, just take a moment to think about what's going on and try to answer some of these own questions in your own head. If you feel so compelled to write it in the comments, and maybe we can create a discussion online. So here's the scenario. Continuing severe weather is causing widespread damage. There are multiple impacts in the community. Vehicle movement is constrained. Some people are stranded and are in need of assistance. There have been impacts on communications and power, and some structures are impacted. 911 operators are receiving conflicting reports about a number of life safety needs, including some weather-related injuries and unverified reports of structural collapse of an assisted living facility. So think about that. What do you think are the top 3 challenges? Write some of those challenges down. Discuss in your group how ICS could be used to address some of these challenges, and we'll go from there. Pause the video here if you need to. So what are the benefits of ICS? The incident command system has positively impacted incident command management efforts by, first, clarifying chain of command and supervision responsibilities to improve accountability, leveraging interoperable communication systems and plain language to improve communications. More on that later. Providing an orderly, systemic planning process, implementing a common, flexible, pre-designed management structure, and fostering cooperation between different disciplines and agencies. So ICS improves safety, accountability, and communication. It helps different agencies click together fast, if we can give you that visual, even if they've never worked together before. ICS is built on best practices. The incident command system has been tested for more than 40 years of emergency and non-emergency applications by all levels of government, and in non-governmental and private sector organizations as well. ICS helps to ensure the safety of responders, community members, and others, the achievement of incident objectives, and the efficient use of resources. ICS isn't new. It's been refined over 40 plus years in fires, disasters, protests, you name it. It works because it's flexible, scalable, and tested. So, let's recap. What is a basic definition of the incident command system? Is it the same as NIMS? And what are some situations which it can be used? Don't answer these questions passively if you can avoid it. Push yourself, think about some deeper, specific examples that you might face in your role, whether that's as an EMT or a firefighter or otherwise. Pause here if you need a second. Think about this for a second. So we're on to our Unit 1 summary. You have completed the course welcome and the incident command system overview unit, Unit 1. This unit presented the following key points that hopefully you were able to learn. ICS is a standardized management tool that allows better coordination and use of resources. ICS represents organizational best practices and has become the standard for emergency management. ICS can be used to manage the response for all incidents and planned events. ICS works. It saves lives. So ICS is your playbook for staying safe and effective at any scene. It promotes clear leadership, coordination, and structure. As EMTs, that helps you do your job a little better and safer, to be completely honest, because when you're operating within, a large-scale incident, it would be helpful if you know where you need to be and know where you definitely shouldn't be. So next time we're dividing into the backbone of ICS, the 14 NIMS management characteristics. These traits shape everything from how we talk on the radio to how we organize command on a massive disaster scene. So we have this discussion prompt, and if you're watching this online, I definitely encourage you to answer this in the comments. Have you ever been on a scene where nobody was in charge or where things were getting missed? Describe what happened and how a clear structure could have helped. I'd love to see what you guys say. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you found this video useful. We'll see you in Unit 2.